What's up? This is going to be a stream of consciousness type video. Just gonna go off. I might have to change the camera because this might get uncomfortable in a few minutes, but we'll see. Your life sucks. You have probably heard that or felt that at some point in your life, at some given moment, and you've probably agreed with that at some point. Damn, my life sucks right now. My life is awful. This is pretty common. I'd like to imagine that the majority of humanity has faced something like this at some point in time. And it's not all that uncommon, but what is unique is that you have felt it for a different reason than I have felt it, just as your siblings, your friends, your parents, family have all felt that, but for wildly different reasons. People you know have felt that same thing, but for a completely different reason than you have felt it. And the reason I say this is because we, as humans, as a collective, can agree and understand the fact, can agree with, and recognize and understand the fact that everyone has a unique perception on life and a unique experience of what their life looks like. And everyone realizes that their life looks completely different to them than it does to anyone else looking at it. Like someone else that you know might look at your life right now and be extremely envious of certain qualities you have or certain aspects of your life that are going well for you. And you might not even realize that. You might not recognize it because ultimately we are our own worst critics. We are our own worst critics, whether we realize it or not. And the best thing you can do, especially if you are younger, is to accept the fact that you are your own worst critic and to recognize that all the thoughts that are going through your head are not necessarily yours and they aren't true. They are only true if you accept them to be true. If you accept a thought in your mind to impact your life, your beliefs, your view on who you are, then it becomes true. Because there is no truth in the world, but there are also unlimited truths in the world. Because every single person on this planet has a completely unique perspective and different understanding on what is the truth. What the truth is for me and what the truth is for you looks completely different, even if it is similar to a degree. Just like how humans, although we share 99% of our DNA with each other, and me, I'm a twin, identical twin. I share 99.99% of my DNA with my brother. As humans, we share 99% of our DNA with each other. And that might be a little off. The point is, we are so extremely close, so extremely related to one another, yet we are all completely unique and completely different. And so one of the worst things that we learn to do in this life is we learn to criticize ourselves and determine how our life is compared to how other people's lives are around us. And we learn about what a good life looks like, what a bad life looks like, based off of what other people in our lives tell us, whether we accept it consciously or subconsciously, unconsciously. This is how we operate as humans. We soak up information from others and we agree to that information and think that it is a fact for us. So we will pick up information as a child about how hard it is to make money in life, and we will go throughout our life assuming and expecting it to be difficult to make money. Maybe difficult until you reach 50 years old. Maybe difficult until you reach a certain job or a certain level in your career. For some people, they don't think it's difficult at all. Money is second nature. Making money is second nature to them. But that depends on the beliefs that you pick up on in your life. And it depends upon the beliefs to which you agree to be true within your life. So you and I, while very similar, and we could have grown up in an extremely similar life, but we will have completely different views on life, because my view and your view of life is completely unique to ourselves. And that is one of the beautiful things in life, is you and I can go about life having almost identical experiences, but still viewing things completely differently. And that is something that is wonderful to have, the ability to do that. That gives us our own unique lens on life, our own unique aspect to what life is, what life looks like to us. And because of that, what we can bring to the world, what I can bring to the world, is completely different than what you can bring to the world. And both are equally good. Because my perspective, your perspective, comes from the same source, but it is practiced and fractalized and through our own unique lens of consciousness, our own unique experience on life. And what I want to really point out and hammer in with this is that ultimately you are in control of what you get to experience. You are in control of the lens through which you view your life and the perspective from which you see life as. You get to choose who you are. You get to choose who you say you are. People in your life will have different opinions about you. That's a fact. You can go ask any of your friends, go ask your family members, teachers if you are in school, coworkers, bosses, whatever. Ask them, who am I? Who are you to that person? And each of them will give you a different answer. They might give you a similar answer, but it'll be different because their lens and experience of you is different than anyone else's lens or experience of you. And you get to control the way you view yourself, which is the most important experience and lens that you can be in control of. And I can tell you this from my own experience as someone who hated myself as a child, as I was younger, growing up, hated myself, thought I was horrible, thought I couldn't do anything, was ugly, suicidal, depressed, awful mentality and mindset about life. And this was my worldview and my view of self for many, many years. And it changed gradually over time to the point to where I am now, where I love myself and I think I'm awesome. And I hold that view of myself. I hold myself to a certain view, to a certain perspective, to where I understand that things in my life are working out for me. Regardless of what other people see, regardless of what other people say, regardless of what the circumstances of life show me, I know everything is working out in my favor. That is the viewpoint and belief that I've come to accept for myself. And when I was living as the version of me that did not like myself, that wanted to end everything, life was hard. It was dense. It felt like a dense experience to go through, to exist. Everything was a struggle. Everything was tough. Everything sucked. And when I think back to it, obviously there was moments of joy and beauty in that experience, but most of it was pretty awful. And that is not a fun way to live life. It's not. And I realized that I was living life that way and was miserable and hopeless. And so I changed that. And that is the power that we as humans have, is the power to change ourselves. And because everything is self, everything is consciousness, everything is just a different version of you, when you change yourself, you will see your world around you change. It may not be instant, it might be subtle, but there will be changes. And so what you have to do is, if there's something about you that you don't like, start today to make a change. Make it small if that's easy. Go all in if that's easy. Do whatever you can do, and know when you are doing it, you are doing your best. That's a good place to start, especially if you are in a spot where you are in total despair, like how I was years ago. So if you are someone who is in despair, hopeless, not in a good spot in life, start with a small change. One simple thing. Change the way you talk to yourself when you're brushing your teeth or when you're taking a shit, and start to love yourself. Say, I take the best shits in the world. Seriously, like, exaggerate your life, romanticize the moment, and romanticize your whole life, and think that you are amazing and you are the shit, because you are. So start talking to yourself that way. Start observing the way you talk to yourself, and start observing and really critically thinking about yourself and your life, and see why your life is the way it is. And I would imagine you will come to the conclusion that a lot of things in your life are the way they are because of your perspective and your viewpoint on life. Because you think your life sucks, so you see something going on in your life as it going bad for you instead of it going good for you. But you can choose to see it as a good and positive event for you. But you have to choose that. So starting today, I want you to start choosing better for yourself. Selfishly, choose better for yourself. Choose good for yourself. Choose good as the version of consciousness that you are. And start to become that in your life. Start to become all that is good in your life, because you can, because you are capable of that. You are capable of whatever, anything you can conceive mentally, you are capable of receiving that physically, of that reciprocal in the physical world, because all is mental, all is mind, all is consciousness. So if something can exist in here, it can exist out there. Okay? Talk to yourself in a good manner. I love you. You need to love yourself. Start loving yourself. Start small. Start large. Do whatever it takes. Love yourself and notice the changes that occur in your life. Take mental notes on your phone, get a diary to take notes in, and see how, when you observe yourself as someone different, how your life appears different. Okay? Life is fun. It's fun. It's a game. It's a miracle. Enjoy it. Stop looking at the bad in life. Look at the good. Okay? It's always there. Love you guys. Peace.